Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University.
Namaskar dear students, I am Dr. Himanshu Patel, working as an assistant professor in School of Computer Science of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. I welcome you all to the course on cross-platform application development using Flutter. Let's take a quick look at the interactive user interface demonstration you will be building in this unit. These hands-on exercises are designed to help you understand how to use Flutter widgets to create responsive, attractive, and functional user interfaces. The first exercise we are going to create is My Profile page. In this first demonstration, you will be build a My Profile page, which is a user profile interface that displays key information in well-organized layout. You will use widgets like card, list tile, and icon button to present profile details clearly. We will also show how to navigate the URL_launcher plugin to open phone and email apps directly from your app, making the profile page interactive and practical. Second exercise we will create is about displaying product list. So, the second exercise will focus on creating product list interface. You will use listview.builder to create a scrollable list of items. This demonstration helps you understand how to manage text input and dynamically render content in your Flutter app. The third exercise we are going to create is login page app. So next, you will design a login page app where user can enter their email and password to log in. You will explore widgets like text field, form, text editing controller, and elevated button. We will cover form validation, basic credential checking using hard-coded data, and navigation to a home screen upon successful login. These exercises lays a strong foundation for handling user authentication interfaces. Fourth exercise is about student registration page. In these exercise demonstration, you will create a student registration page that collects varieties of input from user. You will use widgets like text field, drop down button, radio list tile, and checkbox along with a form and elevated button to validate and submit the data. These exercise teaches you how to organize user inputs and manage form state effectively. The fifth exercise we will create is bottom navigation app. For the fifth demonstration, we will build a bottom navigation app that allows user to switch between multiple screens, including we have created earlier registration, profile, and product list using bottom navigation bar. You will learn to use bottom navigation bar and stateful widget to manage navigation and maintain each screen's state. The last exercise is a dashboard interface. Finally, you will develop a dashboard user interface that displays interactive cards in a grid layout. Each card represents a section like orders, messages, or setting, and tapping on any card will navigate to user to a corresponding detail screen. We will use gridview.count, card, inkwell, and navigation with navigator.push to bring this interface to life. Now, these 6 demonstrations will guide you through essential Flutter concepts from form building and list management to navigation and responsive layout. So, by the end of these units, you will have built complete functional user interfaces and gained a strong foundation to build your cross-platform mobile apps. So, let's get started with the first demo, the My Profile page. In today's session, we are going to create a simple profile app with 2 powerful features. Tapping the phone number opens dialer and tapping the email address opens the email client. So, let's get app overview. So, on screen, you can see here is what our app look like. We have a circular profile picture, then name, job title, and these are 2 cards, one for phone number and another for email ID. Now, when they tap, they launch respective app on your phone. For example, here I am clicking on this card. So, it will ask me to open with phone. So, I am clicking just once. So, here you can see that phone number is automatically open for dialing. Now, let's get back, and when I click on this card which displays my email address, and when you click on this card, it will open email client like Gmail on your phone. So, I am clicking on this. So, it will open email client where from is your email address, but to is a email address that is shown here, and in subject line it displays hello, and in email body it shows this is a test email. Now, here we don't want to send that, so I am discarding that. So, this is how our app will look. Now, let us understand project structure. To get started, make sure you have added the URL launcher package in your pubspec.yl. Here, the very first statement we write down is import package flutter and material.dart. So, we can use material app design. The second statement we use is package URL underscore launcher, and inside that we want to use URL underscore launcher dot dart. So, these are the 2 necessary packages. First package is for material design and second package is for opening app on your phone, whether it is a dialer or it may be email client. So, for that we require this package. Now, we must add these package in a pubspec.yml file. These plugin lets open the phone dialer and email app from our Flutter app. So, here you can see my pubspec.yml file. This is my project structure. Now, you have already know how to create a project. This is our main.dart file which is available inside lib directory. Here I have already written this code to explain in a better way. Now, here we can see our pubspecs.yml file. I am opening that file. Here you can see you have to make these entry. You can see dependencies section here, and inside that we have Flutter, and after that we have SDK colon Flutter. This line is already there when you open this file. Now, I have added these line URL launcher colon and then version name. So, from these you have to just provide 2 spaces, not tab. Remember, you must provide 2 spaces and then name of package which is URL underscore launcher, then colon, and after 1 space caret sign and package that you want to include as a dependency. Don't forget to write down these line, otherwise your code will not work. Now, here we can see we have one image displayed. So, that image must be available within our project structure. After writing these URL underscore launcher in pubspecs.yml, you have to open terminal which is shown here. If you are not able to see terminal, what you can do is you can go to view menu and then click terminal to open terminal. Now here you have to write down flutter pub get command. You have to press enter. So it will download all the dependencies required. And what is the use of this flutter pub get command in Flutter? So Flutter pub get is a command used to download and install all the dependencies listed in your Flutter project's pubspecs.yml file. Here we have one dependency URL_launcher. So it will download that file and make available in our project. Now what does it do? When you run flutter pub get, it performs some tasks. First, it fetches all packages, library, plugins from pub.dev. Then it creates package and pubspec.lock file in your project. It populates the dart_tool directory with cache version of the packages, and it makes the packages available to your project so you can import and use them. Now when we need to run these commands, so whenever you add or remove package in pubspecs.yml file, at that time it is necessary to run this command. Whenever you change the version of a dependency, again you need to run this command. And if clone or downloaded a new Flutter project or add assets like images, font, etc., you must run this command flutter pub get. Suppose you are get missing package during build error, then again you have to run this command. Now to enable phone calling and email launching using URL_launcher package in Flutter app, you may need to update your Android and iOS configuration file. So let us see what you need to add inside Android manifest file, which is Android manifest.xml file. So for that you have to open your manifest file. Here you can see we have Android folder. Inside that there is a app folder. Inside that there is a source folder. Inside that there is a main folder, and inside that we have android.manifest file. Now here you must add these lines. Now I am selecting those lines. So you must add these lines inside your Android manifest.xml file to correctly run this program. Now why we need this? For using email client we require internet. So you must use this permission called android.permission.internet, and this is required to open email client. It represent action send to, that means we want to send email, and scheme is we want to mail to someone. So you must include these lines inside your manifest file. Now where to include these files? So this is the very first line in a manifest file with manifest tag. So before application and after manifest you must type these line inside your manifest file. So first we must include these URL launcher in a dependency section. Second, we must include these line inside our manifest file. Now if you see here, we must have these image available for display. So store and use an image in the asset folder in a Flutter project. Now how can we do that? So you have to follow some steps. This is my root direct. Remember, these entire section should be selected, and then you have to select new folder. So it will create folder on top. So here I have already created these folder assets. So inside assets I have created subfolder in a similar fashion like new folder, images, and inside images I have copied these files. So here you can see that image which is displayed in our app. So how to copy that image inside these? So you can open this in a file explorer, and here you can paste that image from source where you have copied. So this is how you can add image inside these. Now remember, these image name must be in a small case. It can include number and characters, but it cannot include special characters or hyphen, etc. So be careful. If your file contains some uppercase name, then you must rename this file before using. Now once that file is available in our assets images folder, once you copy this file, you have to again enter that image inside your pubspecs.yml file. So here you can see there is a Flutter section. Inside that you have to write down assets colon, and in next line after exit 2 space you have to write down hyphen, and then you have to write down that path which is nothing but assets/images/file name. Now you must remember that you should not write slash before assets. These are common mistakes made by the developer. Remember, here you cannot use tab, you have to provide exit 2 space, then hyphen, then 1 space, and then you have to write down path without first slash. So you have to also enter these entry in a pubspecs.yml file. In order to use that file, we know how to use image and where to create those folders in Visual Studio Code. We have already added these image to folder called assets, and inside that we have images folder, and file name should be in a small. So our final path is assets/images/file name. Now we have already registered these in a pubspecs.yml that you can see in the screen. Now our configuration is ready. We have copied these file, we have include necessary dependencies, we have registered our image. Now let us try to understand our code. So this is a main.dart file, and these two packages we require in order to use these functionalities. So you can see here main is our entry point of the application. So inside run app I have written my profile app. So here we define that my profile app. So we write down class my profile app extend stateless widgets. Why? Because here we don't want to change user interface, but we want to just launch app that is already installed on your mobile. So next we define constructor as usual. Then we have defined method to launch the phone dialer with specific number. In this case we want to dial these number, right? So here I write down custom method or user defined method called _launch dialer. Now it takes two arguments. First is a phone number and second is a build context, and this is a asynchronous function. Now what is asynchronous function? Asynchronous function is generally performed in a background. First we must define URI. Now this URI is defined for phone. This is a class URI, this is object URI, this is a instance of that class to create object. So inside URI we have to specify scheme, which is telephone, and path is the value that represent phone number. First we must define these URI, and then we have to check whether the specified URL can be handled by some app installed on your phone. So here I write down inside if condition can launch URL method. It checks whether these URI which represent phone can be launched using some app available on your phone like dialer. If yes, then it returns true. So what we want to do is we want to launch that dialer. So here we call launch URL method to launch that URI or phone number. So we have to understand like this. First we check whether we can launch dialer or not. If we can launch, we have to launch that dialer, and if it returns false, what does it mean? You cannot launch dialer on your phone. So inside else part we want to use a snack bar. We have already learned how to launch snack bar. So for that we have used scaffold messenger dot op method, and inside that we have to call show snack bar method. Inside that we have to display actual snack bar with content with text that you want to show on the screen. These message will display in case you cannot launch dialer on your phone, and if there are some exception you can display in a debug console using debug print method, and these E represent exception or error that is occurred. So this is how this launch dialer method will work. Similarly we have launch email. So it takes email here, and second argument is again context, and again this is a example of asynchronous method, and here again we have to create one URI, but this time scheme is mail to represent email, and path is email address, which is provided to this method as a argument. And inside query we can write down URI.encode full, and inside that we have to specify our subject line, which is hello, and inside body you can specify your message. In this case this is a test email. So whenever this URI is given to launch URL method, it will open email client and displays subject line with hello and body with this is a test email, and that mail will be sent to this argument. Now again here we write down exception handling. So first we check can launch email launcher. So can launch URL will check whether email launch URI can be launched using some app installed on your mobile or not. If yes, we have to launch that URL or email client. So we call launch URL method inside these if condition, and inside that we have to specify our URI, and inside mode I write down launch mode dot external application. That means we want to use external application like Gmail, not default application provided by phone. And inside else we want to display error message that email client cannot be launched. So for that we have again used snack bar, and whatever error is caught is displayed using snack bar as well as in a debug console. So these are the two methods which are important to launch dialer and email client. To create these actual interface, we must define this build method. So inside build we return material app. So entire screen is our material app, and inside home we specify scaffold. Now here you can see one line is written which is a debug show checked mode banner is false. So here you can see there is no debug banner. Now suppose this line is not written, and if I hot reload these, so here you can see now debug banner is displayed. By default it is there. So to remove these debug banner we must write down these lines. So now I am removing these and again hot reload my code. So I am clicking on hot reload. So now it is gone. If you make changes in code, you can use this option hot reload to quickly reflect those changes in your app. Next, inside home we specify scaffold. Now here you can see generally we have white background. So here we have specified background color which is a teal. So here inside scaffold we have specified background color with constant colors dot teal. So that is why we seen this color. Next we specify body. So inside body generally we use column layout, but here we write down safe area. Now what does these safe area widget does? It ensure that user interface stays within safe bounds of the screen. After safe area we specify column. Now you can see all these controls are in a column format in a center of screen. Inside column I specify main axis alignment as a center. So here I write down main axis alignment colon main axis alignment dot center. So it arrange all the content in a vertically center space. Then we have to specify children. Now very first children is these profile pic. So it is called circle avatar. So here I write down first circle avatar. Now we have to specify the radius of these circle. So here I specify radius 50 pixels, and inside background image I want to display image which is copied inside these assets folder, assets, images and file name. So here I write down inside background image I call assets image method, and inside that you have to specify path which is assets, images and file name. Now remember these file name should be exactly matched with this path, and same must be registered in pubspec.yml file. So this is how we can display circle avatar. The next is a text. So here you can see my text is in a white color. So next is a text, and whatever text you want to display you can write inside text, and inside style you can specify text style. So my font size is 30. So this is a 30 size text. Then I have make that text bold using font weight which is font weight dot bold, and I specify its color as a white to give professional look. So after that text we have again another text called which specifies job title which is Flutter developer. So here inside text I specify text, and inside style I specify color as a teal dot shade 100, and letter spacing is a 2.5. You can modify. For example, if I write down 5 here and hot reload my code, you can see the changes. So now it is more spacious. So this is how you can specify the letter spacing. So here you can see letter spacing is now 5. So they are more separated. After that we have again one horizontal line. So this horizontal line is called divisor. So I here write down divisor after text, and its height is 20, its thickness is 1 pixel, and whatever color you want to give, and intent and intent is specified as a 50. So it is a 50 pixel from border from start and 50 pixel far from end border. This is how we can specify divisor. Then we have two cards. So inside card we have to specify margin. Using edge insets.symmetrical method, we can specify 10 pixels in a vertical and 25 pixels in horizontal direction. So here you can see 15 pixel and 25 pixel margin is there. Inside child we specify least tile. So this is called least tile. Now in leading you can see we have phone icon. So in a leading space I want to display icon which is represented by icon.phone and its color is color.teal. To give contrast I again use this teal color for leading icon. Then we have title. So this is called title. Now this title is nothing but phone number. So inside title we have to specify tag to be displayed on screen, and whenever some user clicks on this card, what we want to do is we want to launch dialer, and for that we have already defined this method launch dialer. Now remember we must specify two arguments. First is a phone number to be launched and second argument is contact. So whenever user taps on this card, it will launch dialer and dial this number, and after that we have to display second card, and inside that card again we have specify edge insets. Then inside list tile we have specify icon email to represent this icon and its color is teal, and inside title we specify email address. So these represent text, and whenever user tap we want to launch email client. So for that we have already defined one method called launch email. Again it takes two arguments, email to which we want to send message and contact. This is our code. I hope you understand how to create this professional look like profile and call phone dialer or email client when card is tapped. Now this is my actual phone. So how to run app on actual device? Till now we have launched our app in a emulator. So how can we launch app on my phone? This is my phone screen. So for that you have to enable USB debugging before launching app on real device. So how to do that? So for that you have to go to setting. Here you can see my setting is there, and then you have to enable developer option. Now how to do that? So after opening setting you have to click on about phone. So here you can see about phone is at the last. Click on that. Now we have to find build number. You can find build number generally at the bottom. If you don't find it, you can directly search here build number. So click on build number. Now here you can see my build number. So you have to tap 7 times to enable developer option. So I am clicking on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here I have already do that. So it says no need, you are already a developer. So first time you have to tap 7 times quickly, and you may be prompted to enter your device pin or pattern, and after that you will see message on screen that you are now developer. Now second step we have to do is enable USB debug. So again we go back to main settings, and then we have to find developer options. If you don't find, directly search here developer options. So here you can see developer options. Inside that you have to find USB debugging. So here you can see my USB debugging is already on. If it is on, then you have to enable, it will confirm with you. So press OK. Now you can connect your device to your laptop or PC. Now you can use USB cable to connect your Android phone to computer, and on your phone you may see a dialog for the first time that allow USB debugging. So you have to check always allow from these computer, and then you have to click on allow. And now we have done everything, right? But we want to check whether this phone is available or not to launch app. So for that you have to go to terminal. Here you can see my Visual Studio Code terminal, and here you can type Flutter devices. and press enter. So you should see your device. Here it shows Moto G54 5G model. So this is my phone that you can also confirm here. You usually run app by clicking on this button, run and debug, or pressing F5 function key, and you will see that now that app will be launched inside your real phone. So friends, that's it. Our app is ready. Now it is running on our physical device. You can tap on phone number to make a call, or tap the email address to open your email client. So I hope you enjoy building these mini profile app with actionable contact links. I hope you enjoy these demonstration. Happy coding with Flutter. Thank you and happy learning.